Women see just over a 6% increase in their salary and their overall earnings when salary history is not asked. And people of color see just under a 6% increase. But overall, it helps everyone. This is like a rising tide lifts all boats kind of story where over 4%, all workers see a 4% or greater increase on average when a state or city bans salary history inquiries in that area. So it's something that is effective and could make a difference in the wage gap. It's not going to fix all of the issues. And we know that there's much more than a 6% gap between women and men in the United States, but it is something and something we think is worthwhile to move forward with in Columbus. And then the second piece is consumer credit history and not inquiring about that, except for with a variety of exceptions. For example, if any other laws required that someone were to have a credit check to be hired, then obviously we would defer to that federal or state regulation. And then there's some other exceptions if the person was going to be having a large amount of fiduciary responsibilities, going to be handling some security matters, especially digital security. We have some exceptions that are currently written into the language in which consumer credit history inquiries are acceptable. But the reason for that is that credit checks do discriminate against women and people of color. And ultimately, credit check was designed to help a lender make a lending decision, not an employer to make an employment decision. And so they are just skewed in a way that is really not helpful to our workforce and to the women and people of color in Columbus. For example, only 1 in 19 white individuals have a credit score below 620, while 1 in 5 Black individuals have a credit score below 620, which is considered that like risky score. And we know that's because of historical inequities and because of predatory lending practices and a number of historical things that have influenced the credit system. So where possible, ending that practice in the hiring process is something that we believe would be a really helpful step forward. That's just a super brief overview. I have lots more numbers, but yeah, that's the basics.
Thank you, Kirsten. We'd love to open it up for questions. I know that this is set up as a webinar, so if you can put some things in the chat, we'd love to answer any feedback you might have. I believe that you all can access the chat. Let me message our host to be sure. So we might not be capable in the webinar setting, but if you all would like to reach out to myself or Kirsten, we can put our information in the chat so that we can further this conversation and hear some of your thoughts. We can go ahead and do that right now.
I'll just add, if you're having any issues accessing the chat, we apologize. I think Jessica and I might be a little bit new to the webinar format. But if you're having any issues with access to that and you can't see our emails right now, Christina has all of our contact information and could absolutely forward that to you. So we're easy to get a hold of and eager to talk about this work.
Mm-hmm. Wonderful. And we're looking forward to voting on legislation. We are aiming for March to begin hosting some public hearings. So if any of you are willing to provide testimony, if this has gone well in your business or enterprise, we would love to hear from you as well. But thank you all for being here today. Christina, are you with us?